Alright guys, Dameon here. Here to break down 5 simple steps to get your first wholesale deal. Now this video is for new investors, people that are just interested in real estate, that don't really know where to start, and one of the easiest ways to get into the industry is wholesaling. So I want to break down these ways one by one. You take it step by step and take action to actually get your first wholesale deal done, just like I did when I first started. So first things first, step 1. You want to do lead generation. Lead generation means, door knocking. Driving for deals, Zillow, Fizbos, to your local real estate meetup, talking to people that have leads. The agent on-market leads, my specialty, what I love doing. I love calling agents to see what I can do to help out their situation. Cold calling, SMS messaging. A lot of people do that nowadays. Depends on what you feel comfortable with and go for it. It's gonna feel uncomfortable for a while. It's gonna be like, why am I doing this? You're gonna be like on call 99, be like, I have not got anyone to take, my pitch of whatever I'm trying to do to sell the property. It's gonna be discouraging, but just keep going because everybody has to go through it. Step number 2 is learning how to comp the property. Now, when I say comping is an art form, there's no specific formula on how to comp. A lot of people think it's like a secret formula, like you have to do 70%, carry the 2 in the square root of -7. No, it's literally an art form. So you have to make sure that when you're comping, especially nowadays, with interest rates being so high, that you have to make sure your numbers make sense for whichever end buyer you're going with. Whether it be a fix and flipper or whether it be a buy and holder, you need to make sure your numbers make sense. So I definitely advise getting a second pair of eyes to look at your numbers to make sure everything's on point. You have to, because with fix and flippers, you have to take into effect the rehab costs, the holding costs, their resale costs, because they have to pay closing costs twice because they have to be the buyer and close it. Usually buyers pays all the closing costs for the first part, and they have to pay the resale as the seller closing costs. So there's a lot of fees that wholesalers don't like to think about, but you need to consider whenever you're working on your MAO, which is your maximum allowed offer when you're offering to that seller or to the agent or whoever the case is. Make sure you know how to comp. By comping, you need to look for homes that are in the half a mile, preferably within the same subdivision. Be nice. You want within the 5 to 10 years built within the same time period, the same style, which if it's a 2-story home, don't comp it with a 1-story home. Make sure they're both 2-story homes with their comps going with. You want to keep the bed and bathroom count about the same. I say about the same because you can always adjust for things like that. Square footage, lot size, all that wants to be in the same area. I say within like 200 feet for the square footage and about 2,500 for the lot size. All the homes are in the same area, that are in good condition. You want to make sure all the homes are renovated in that area as well. You don't want to try to make a comp where it's not renovated and try to sell it for the ARV. Number 3, get it under contract. Now there's multiple ways you can get under contract. You can work with a buyer's agent that can actually write the contract for you and then submit it to the listing agent. You can also just go directly to the listing agent and just ask them, hey, do you mind just doing dual representation for me? You guys can keep the 3% that my buyer's agent would have kept. You can keep it to the seller. You can add it to your own fee, so you can get 6% instead of 3%, just to get this lower cash price that I'm needing to kind of make it work out. You can leverage it a whole different ways, which why I love being an agent myself. There's multiple contracts. I'll probably list one here below by my man Pace Morby, the best guru, mentor, real estate go-giver in the world. I truly appreciate everything he's done. He also has a fantastic wholesaling contract that I'll put in the link below. And so yeah, that's one of the best things you could do as far as getting the contract done. If you're not a paperwork person, there's always a TC. TCs are meant to do just that. They coordinate the transaction from point A to point B all the way into closing. That way you can focus on how to get more properties. I don't do paperwork myself. I don't like it, I don't do it, and it's not my forte. So I always get a transactional coordinator. They are definitely worth the money that they pay for them. I also want to touch on EMD, which is earnest money deposit. Now, to make the contract that you just signed from the seller and yourself, to make it valid, you need to have earnest money deposited into the title company. So that leads me on to step number 4. Step number 4 is open up escrow. And the best way to open an escrow is go to Google, type in nearest title company near me, or if it's a escrow office and their attorney state, type that in and give them a call. Say, hey guys, I'm a new wholesaler. Do you guys allow wholesalers to do transactions? Do you guys know how to do that? They'll say yes or they'll say no. So if they say yes, you'll go ahead and go up there and say, can I open up escrow with you guys? They'll ask for EMD. EMD is typically 1% of the purchase price. Now you're asking, Dameon, I don't have EMD, I don't have 1%, I have $2 in my account, what do I do? That's fine. All you have to do is contact a gator lender or a transactional lender. Now what they do, they'll come in and fund your deal just for usually about within 30 days. They'll go in and fund your deal, and they'll ask for a piece of your assignment after the fact. And it depends on the lender how much they want to take off of it. But at the end of the day, you're not having to put that money into the EMD, and now you have a valid contract that you can put into escrow so the deal will actually go through. So I would always advise, if you don't have the money, contact a gator lender or transactional lender. If you follow Creative Financing with Pace Morby, they have a multitude of gator lenders in there. You can ask anybody in there, they'll tell you the fee for it, and they'll get you set up to kind of go with the paperwork and everything like that. So once you have EMD and you have the title company set, it's time for step number 5, which is find your buyer. Now, buyers are literally in a lot of places. I'm not gonna say everywhere, but they are everywhere. You can find them at, like I said, RIAs, real estate meetups. You can find them at auctions. Cash buyers are always going to auctions bidding on properties. You can find them on Facebook. Find Facebook, you might find a lot of wholesalers, to be real with you, but you can find cash buyers on Facebook. The thing is, you don't even have to find a buyer sometimes. You can have somebody else that has a multitude of buyers. So say you're just starting again. You don't have any buyers. You just got started. I just now dove into this. I did from point 1 to point 4, just what you said. And now I gotta find buyers too. That's gonna take me forever. I already have the contract and everything like that. You don't have to do that. You can go to people that have a multitude of buyers already, people that are in the game that have been doing it already. You can go to them, say, hey guys, do you have a buyer for this type of property? Can you help me out? If you help me out, I'll cut you in on half of the assignment that I make, which is called a JV agreement. Also, people call it a joint venture agreement. So if you don't have the buyer, don't worry about that. It's always somebody else in the deal that can help you out, fill in the spot that you don't know how to do yet. So just do from step 1 to step 5, find the buyer. Sometimes what I like to do is I take step 5 and put it at step 1. And I'll find my buyer first. I'll meet them at a meetup, or I'll say, hey, I know you're a buyer, I know you're a flipper, I know you're a buy and holder. What is your criteria that you're looking for? You're looking for a 3-2, you're looking for a certain square footage, you're looking for a certain year built. He'll tell me all that information. He or she will tell me all that information. And I'll go out and I'll find that, and I'll start at step 2 as my lead generation. So whenever I'm going to step 4, I already have my buyer in place, so now I'll just have an assignment agreement with that buyer. So with step 5 being find my buyer. With the buyer, you want to have an assignment agreement, which is different from the purchase sale agreement that you have with the seller. So with the assignment agreement is between you and that buyer. You're saying that since the contract that I have, I'm assigning it to this buyer at a higher price than what I have listed for the seller that I'll buy it at. Between that difference is going to be your assignment fee. At that point, you guys wait until closing, you close the project, you're done with it, and you got paid your assignment fee. 5 steps. Now, if you guys want to know more information about what I'm breaking down in the next video, I'll do how to do a 5-step process to your first flip deal, and I'll also do a 5-step process to do your first buy and hold deal. If you're trying to analyze a rental or a short-term rental or a medium-term rental, I actually break those down with numbers and everything like that included. So if you guys like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up, a subscribe, and I'll come up with more content, and let me know if you guys need anything else. I appreciate it. Please leave comments down below on how I can be better at serving you guys as far as learning how to do more real estate. I really appreciate it. This is what I learned when I first started real estate. I had it broken down for me, and I feel like why not kind of break it down easier for people that was in my position just a few months ago. So this is the exact steps I took to get my first deal. I started with lead generation. I just started hammering the phones, calling people. I even called other wholesaling corporations to see what was going on. I did my lead generation just like I was telling. I did step 2 where I went to go comp the property. I had to learn how to comp. I had to make sure I comp correctly, because otherwise I'll be looking stupid to my buyers, and they'll be wondering what is this kid doing? Why is he sending me a property that's way overpriced? So make sure the numbers are right nowadays. I broke it all the way down. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and let me know if you need anything else. All right, appreciate it.